Excel project number 2. I want to cover a couple of things with the class, maybe to help you out. I'm going to show you several methods. The instructions say to do validation or nested if formulas. I'm going to show a few of those. I'm also going to show you conditional formatting, just because it's useful. It's not asked for, so don't submit one with the conditional formatting, but a lot of people like to do that, and I'll show you how that works as well. There's definitions here that'll help you with your terminology, in addition to reading in the chapter. I'm also not going to go over these. They're part of the reading, and they're also down here. So we're given payroll, and you'll get it into a spreadsheet, and here it is. So this first section, I use conditional formatting. This is not what it's asked for, but it's very useful, and it also highlights what the errors are according to the problem. So let me give you an example of this. We can go to employee number, highlight all of this, range, click on home, conditional formatting, and let's look. I'm just going to click on manage rules because I've already done that. And cell value not between 10,000 because it's 5 digits, or is to highlight it if it's not between 10,000 and 99,999. And how you get that is you go to new rule, use a formula to determine here we go. I'm on the smaller monitor of my computer setup, and it was just too small for me to read. And you just keep it as cell value, and you can go not between, like we showed earlier, and this would be 10,000, and this would be 99,999 because you want it 5 digits, and then you can just pick the color, and I did red. Well, it's actually the same formula for these two, and then this one, it'll be a formula. And here it is. If E5 is greater than D5 times 0.4. E5 is greater than D5 times 0.4. In other words, the deductions are more than 40%. And you'll also go through the new rule to do that. And then you'll use a formula. I just gave you the formula. And that would be you would highlight all of this, you would key that in into your conditional formatting, new rule, and it will highlight that. Well, that's obviously more than 40%. 395 is obviously more than 40% of 440. And then part of your cross-footing rules, 41010, it would highlight that. Now, that's not truly cross-footing. All we're doing is, and this one, the way I did it was, this is a total and of this column 41010. It's not this. It's not a formula that evaluates. It's this total up to be 410, and then it's 4260 minus 250, also 4210. And this one, what I did was I just highlighted and said, okay, it's just 410 greater or equal to 0.6 of 4260. And obviously with that, it's going to highlight 4210 because that's way more than 40%. That's not a good system. So there's a flaw there. And then there's the other test that I'm not including. Formulas. Formulas are good for detection. Very good for detection. And I probably, in hindsight, I should have put a column next to these instead of below, but I was trying to get everything on one screen. I was worried it might run off screen. So employee number. So here's your formula, your nested if and function that we had from project 1. Now, I'm really just went overboard. A lot of people probably, and I didn't until I started working on this project a while back ago. But anyway, so what you want is a number, INIS number is a number 822 right here. Well, I've highlighted this range, by the way. Well, let me slow down. So I'm just looking at this one cell right now, 68,975. So if it is a number, and it is all numbers, and the length of the number is equal to 5, because we don't want it to be 4, we don't want it to be 6, we want it to be 5 digits. Length of number, LEN. So they both are conditions here. So if both of these are true, valid. If it's not, error. And that is a letter there, right? G. So it should be error, and it is. Pay rate, same concept. We got the nested if and function. Again, in the instructions say, for nested if and functions are validation. So we're doing the validation. And if B22 is greater than 9, but less than 22, valid, otherwise error. And all you got to do is copy. You just grab this, copy it down. You see how my, you see that little darker green block in the lower right-hand corner of the highlighted cell. When you hover your cursor over it, it turns to a plus. Just drag it down, and it copies the formula, okay? And that's exactly what we did there too. Because we didn't put in the formula, I'm sorry, I should have done it here. Copy it down here. And we didn't put in the formula absolute function with an F4 dollar signs. So it'll copy it down and it'll keep looking A23, A23, and it copies down to 23, 24, 25 down here. This is where it's going to put the results at. Hours worked is just a simple old one, not conditional if and, just an if function. And then deductions, we have a formula, same thing that we did in the project one. So that's pretty cool. All right, so some of you like to do that. I think that's great. And to keep in mind, this is more of a detection, same as this. Now, I continued with this thought here, right here. It's not right. We want a formula, and I'm going to let you guys figure it out, that says the sum of this equals D26 minus E25. And that goes right there. And then if it is true, you write down valid. And if it's not equal, then you do that. So it would be if sum of this equals what I just told you, comma, valid, comma, error. And that would go there. So that right there that I have there is just incorrect. Because what we want to do is we want to score and foot our answer. In other words, this is 40. Well, what did I do wrong? Sorry, guys. I did the live session tonight, and I ate supper and watched TV for a few minutes. I started working on this a few hours ago, getting it organized, and it's late. And it's late, and I told you it's late. I was thinking this was the higher number, 42, and this was the lower number, but these total out to be 43.90 and 42.60 minus deductions of 250 is 41.10. They don't equal each other. So you want an if and function, right? Or an if function. So it'd be if the sum of this equals this minus this, comma, true, comma, error, if it's false, something like that, or valid. Like I did that. It's true, error, it doesn't matter to me. And then we have validation. Now this is more a prevention. Let me show you. I've already come through here. Keyed in my, gotta go to the data. So on the menu here, we've been under the home tab. And we're under the data tab, and we go to data tools. And this is data validation icon here. Now, if I recall correctly, different Excel ribbons look differently depending on the version of Office you have. I'm on my personal laptop. I did not think to pull up my Aiken one until at this very, very moment. But this is still good because you might not be using an Aiken 360, Microsoft 360. So right here, we have the data tools, data validation. It'll be in this area, and it's normally checking, and then the circle, the little Ghostbuster symbols, don't enter whatever type symbol. So we'll click on the data validation to do the rules. I've already done them, and look at what I can do. So you submit. You say, okay, I'm going to do the data validation. There's nothing here. I keyed in 3 already before I hopped on the video, and look, I ask it to circle, I clear it, they're gone. I ask it to come back. So if you submit this, I can just go in there and voila, it should work, right? I should be able to just click on the circles, click them off if you already have yours circled when you submit it, if you do the data validation. All right, so let's look at a data validation. So I highlighted the section that we're going to validate. Click on data validation, and the formula is there. I wanted a whole number, not letters, whole number between 10,000 and 99,000. And I should have put a bunch of 9s there. My bad. And here we go. And it's circled it. Now, let's do this. So that one says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, L. Whoops. And it gives me an error, and it says retry. So this data validation with the circles is after the fact. It's been keyed in, and now I'm circling something that I found after I created the data validation. Should I key anything into the future if that doesn't correspond with the 1, 2, 4? I'm going to get an error. So how do I key in the errors? Data validation, error alert. Employee numbers must be between 10,000 and 99,900 with no letters. Bam. Employee numbers must be between, I keyed that in. And if you key yours in and you use a little bit of different wording, it's all good. Now, I prefer that method. And you see here, I have a note everywhere. I'm not a fan of that. It's just clutter. But some people like to do it that way. You see, you can have an input message there. And I'm going to clear it. I don't like it. And then the error message, I cleared it. And we put, I enter hourly wage between 9 and 25. Okay. And now let's do that. Now, and wouldn't you know it, I cleared it all out when I cleared it. And now it's circled. All right, and then this one is a formula. And I'll show you the formula. These circles are driving me crazy. And then here is your formula. So you'll change it to custom all the way to the bottom, and then it says formula there. So if you're looking for custom in here, for formula in here, just remember it's custom, and then this formula right there automatically shows up. And so what I keyed in was E37 is less than 0.4 times that number. And there you go. And then once again, I'm going to let y'all figure that out, but we need a conditional format there that checks the total of net pay to make sure it equals 4260 minus, and it's covered up 250. All right, and remember that scenario there, so we want an error there because they don't equal. All right, so again, when you total the columns, that's